Ken and Paula Maxwell have been part of the fabric of our theatre community for over 30 years.
Paula and I lost our home of 15 years.
What else did you lose, Ken?
Oh, well, we were going to make a list, but then we would hear snoring and sleeping and all that stuff. So I started, when she first asked me that after the fire, the only thing I could think of was I lost my, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be, my Vietnam boots from 1968 Tet Offensive that I was in and survived.
What did you do with those boots?
Oh, on the Fillmore Western Railroad train, I played Frankenstein, and they seemed to work. They were ugly and beat up and had a couple of blood stains on them, which was good. And I know you lost a few things as well, dear.
Oh, gee whiz. My father's collection of magic books and manuscripts that I inherited in 1993 after he passed away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I lost my ugly cowboy boots that my daughter hated, but I loved, that I got in 1979 in Denton, Texas.
Oh, there was another pair of boots, I remember.
Your boots?
Your father's.
Oh, my father's boots. See, my father was a rodeo cowboy, and he gave me all of his cowboy boots, and I had a hat of his that was about 30 years old that I wore in the westerns that we did on the train, which...
And it looked authentic, because it was.
It was dirty, is what it was. And so, but it worked as an old-time cowboy. So I lost that, and you as well, others.
Oh, gee whiz. I'm wearing the ring that my mother gave me that we found in the ashes. And it was actually a couple of friends came up from LA, and she goes, "I'm good at finding rings." I said, "Sure, okay. Give it your best shot." So I showed her the area, and they started digging, and it was in a box. And when they popped it open, here was the ring. It still sparkles a teeny tiny bit, but and the diamonds were in the box that popped out. And so I don't know what will become of this, but I'm sort of enjoying wearing it just the way it is tonight. But we did find that.
Yeah, sure. They worked all day and made ashes of themselves. But, sorry, I do that to keep from crying, obviously. In the driveway, Paula lost her car. It melted like an ice cream cone. It was so hot. We, of course, we got out. Other things I lost, my name is Kenneth. I lost my uncle's, Uncle Kenneth, who died in World War II. He was 19. His flag, his coffin flag, his letters. I'm sorry to inform you that your son was killed in the war. His Purple Heart, things like that were important to me. Of course, we all lose pictures, and those things are important too. But just specifically, and being an actor, I lost numerous films and commercial records of what I've done on television and things, and maybe they can be replaced. I'm also and this is bragging time. I've also won 3 Hall of Fames in Ventura County and Santa Barbara County athletically, and I lost all of those trophies and things like that.
You lost your Green Bay Packer football that was signed by all your buddies.
Oh, yeah.
That we had encased in a special.
Big jock. And you, dear?
Well, back to books, because I had a whole
Now I'm sorry, let me interrupt you. This is not to say that these people haven't lost things and know people who have lost things, but we're just going to stack this on them tonight, okay?
It's all about us right now, honey.
That's right.
I had a big bookcase in the garage, and I mentioned my father's magic books, but also at the top of it was my mother's sci-fi collection. So my mother, the sci-fi reader, and my father, the magician.
Magic Castle, actually.
Yeah, don't ask. So the books, when you think about, I couldn't have taken them all with me, of course, But
We'd still be there.
But the first thing I cried about was the reason I bought the house that we bought was because of the 6 heritage pine trees in the backyard. And that's when I cried. Not the house, but the trees that were living, beautiful things that I communed with every day. That was my church. And when I saw that they had passed away and perished, that was when I cried. But what was left behind, hanging from one of the trees, you'll notice in the far corner there, why didn't that burn? Why is the foil still there on it? Why the foil didn't even evaporate? That was a mysterious thing. And I can't explain it, but I hung it there 7 years ago when my daughter was blessed with what would soon be my grandson, Isaiah. And I hung it for the blessing that took place in the yard. And it hung there for 7 years. 2 years later, another blessing took place for my granddaughter, soon to be birth granddaughter, Malia. And so, to me, when I hung the lanterns everywhere for that event and then hung more lanterns, but that lantern always stayed. And as they were babies, I would carry them out there and I'd let it hit it with their hand or hit it with their head and watch it swing. And I walked up and passed through all the carnage, and it greeted me, hanging from my tree. That was one of the beautiful
Well, yeah,
blessings
flames that
that
had
was
just
behind.
melted the car engine did not touch that. And it was blessed, these little children.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, we're not the only ones, certainly, that have lost things. We drove through our neighborhood the other day. There's 40 or 50 homes that are burnt to the ground. And I'm sure you guys know people like us. Not quite as tall, probably. But you know people. And she was supposed to be the one crying, but it's okay. I must be mad or angry or something. I don't know. But in any case, we're thankful to be here. I don't know
What
what
did we save, honey?
Well, at 2:45 in the morning, we saved 3 beating hearts and got out of our house. The third one is a dog, by the way.